It's me, Coach B, starting over. And I'm adjusting my screen. And how is our picture looking? Are you with me? Okay, here we go. May have to move the screen around a little creatively. So it's me, Coach B, April 28th, 2014, and it's SuperSpeed Brainies night, my friends. Here's the book. Have you left a review on Amazon.com? Who loved the book and hasn't reviewed it yet? That's what I'd like to know. We are one of the world's most popular education websites. Why? Because we're fun and free and it works. Here are my two friends, Biffy Bluebird and Smarty Wonderbeak. What if someone wants a copy of these slides or needs a professional development certificate? Hi, Biffy. Hiya, Coach. Well, Smarty, do you have an answer to that question? Easy breezy lemon squeezy. Details are at the end of this program. Thank you, Smarty Wonderbeak. You're welcome, Coach. Anytime I can help. My friends, I usually do not speak personally. Tonight, I'm going to speak a little bit personally. I want to share with you a 20-year-old dream. A dream that I've had for 20 years. Anybody love it when the teacher starts talking about themselves and not the subject? My dream is that I've had this phrase in my head for 20 years, the wisdom game. The wisdom game. The more you play it, the wiser you become. That's all I knew. I'm taking off my glasses. That's all I knew for 20 years was this title. And the title mesmerized me. I had no clue if there could be such a game. But I thought, what if there was a game? And the more you played it, the wiser you got. Feeling any excitement about such a game? In other words, it would be the only non-trivial game in the world. It would not be a game about the game, like basketball or poker. It would be a game about outside the game. A game that launched us into life, as opposed to was a refuge from the chaos of life. Are you feeling how obsessive I could get about a wisdom game? Yeah, it just, it was one of those things, my friends, that I didn't know if it was real. But I got to say maybe we're at the beginning of a wisdom game. A game that makes you smarter the more you play it. Let's just stop there for a second. If you play Scrabble, you get better at Scrabble. You get Scrabble smarts. If you play chess, you get better at castling and fianchettoing your bishop and the opening and the middle game and how to checkmate. All of your knowledge gained by a game tells you more about how to be better at the game. But what if there was a game that went the other way, that told you more about how to get better at life? Are you feeling it? All right, I feel like I got some people online. Kate's feeling it. Nancy. And Nancy can't wait to see the game pieces and the board. Madeline is on board. Oh, Jay McR is on board. Here we go, my friends. I'm going to tell you more. So, here's what I began to think. If there was a wisdom game, it'd have to have these features. You'd have to teach reasoning in a new way, because the way we teach reasoning right now is not a game. It's pretty miserable, hard slogging work. Believe me when I say that, because I've done the hard slog for 40 years trying to teach reasoning as a philosophy teacher. So one, it has to teach reasoning in a new way. Two, it has to be simple to learn, because if it's not simple to learn, only a few people can play it. And that's not what we're looking for. Our democratic passion is a game for one and all. More features. It also has to be infinitely complex. Now, stay with me here. Simple to learn, yes. But it's got to be more than tic-tac-toe if it's going to lead to wisdom. Wisdom is infinitely complex. So it's got this wisdom game as this strange paradox of you pick it up right away and you can fly to the intellectual moon with it. I wonder how my online friends are feeling. You see the, could I use the word paradox with you? You see the paradox? What this wisdom game would have to be like? Now you know I'm not going to be talking about it unless I think I've got some answers to this thing. It has to be a game for all abilities. Now I'm going to stress that right now. We can't have a wisdom game that only makes the smarties smarter. That's an intellectual ghetto. It has to be a game that gifted kids could play and special ed kids could play. It has to be a game that you can play in pre-K. It has to be a game that you can play as a graduate student. I would even say it has to be a game that you could teach your babies. Wait a second. Did you hear what I said? I'm taking off my glasses. It has to be a game that you could teach your babies? Are you just wigging out now? Well, it's a wisdom game. Is it ever too early to start being wise? One size really fits all. All right. Back to the game. Another characteristic. It's got to be about all subjects. You see? If it's not about all subjects and you're not going to get wisdom, you're just going to get wisdom about this subject and that subject and another subject. So it has to be about all subjects. And you have to be able to play it at all grades if it's for everyone. So let's sum up this wisdom game. Here it is. Let me slide my screen over. A simple game that could be infinitely complex for all students, all grades, all abilities, that taught reasoning in a new way. And, small point, it's got to be fun. Now, I'm beginning to think, as I look at these characteristics, this is why it took me so stinking long, like a decade and a half or 2 decades, to figure out such a game, because the characteristics seem almost impossible to meet. But you're going to agree with me, I'm sure, my dear online audience. If it's not fun, the rest of it doesn't matter. I'm taking off my glasses. Can I tell you what's wrong with Common Core? I mean, there's a lot that I like about Common Core as a philosophy teacher. I'm taking off the glasses. But I'll tell you what's wrong with Common Core right here and right now. To your face in 3D. Here's what's wrong. It's not fun. Yeah, that's what's wrong. Common Core is no fun. And if it's no fun, it's like trying to convince our kids to eat twigs and sticks. If it's no fun, their emotions are not involved. If their emotions are not involved, it's like teaching zombies. I hate to say it. We are turning kids into funless human beings, which they don't want to be. That's the problem with Common Core. I just thought I'd say that, because I'm feeling like the game I got here is going to be a little fun. All right. Now, back to the screen. So let's go to our first characteristic. How do you teach reasoning in a new way? Well, you make reasoning visual and physical. Visual and physical. Let's stop there. Reasoning typically goes on in the prefrontal cortex. It's abstract. The visual cortex is here in the back of the brain. The motor cortex is here across the top. Two huge brain areas not involved in reasoning. So if we could make it visual and physical, we're teaching reasoning in a new way. Are you with me so far, online audience? I'm not taking off my glasses this time. I'm doing something a little more serious. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh yeah, my friend. So it has to be visual and physical. Loftus says yes. Andre Desch says absolutely. You're waiting to see how I'm going to make this fun. That's what you're waiting for. All right, here's visual and physical. If you've been watching the programs recently, you're aware of a display something like this, and I confess it changes weekly, but here's visual and physical. Here are gestures, because, and, also, detail adder, for example, but, if, then, triple whammy, simile, metaphor. All of these things are important in reasoning, and we have a gesture for them. Here's how it would work. Look at me. So I'm talking along, and I tell my kids to teach each other what I just said, and I say, be sure you use a because clapper. And I want you to think of some examples like you're pulling them out of your head. For example, and think up some contrary cases. So you're going to put your hands on your hips and say, but. So these are some of the key words in reasoning. Because, and, also, in conclusion, if, then, simile, metaphor. We want kids to use adjectives, we have gestures for that, and complex sentences. As the weeks unfold, we'll talk more about these. But first of all, I just want to establish that the Brainies at least fulfill one requirement of our game. They make reasoning visual and physical. Let's just check out there. Who is using the Brainies and finding out that it's visual and physical? And Helen Bow says it has to flutter the gills. And you know what? That is reference to a webcast many moons ago. Visual and physical. Kate says yes, she uses them every day. Jackie Nisano says me, 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 me. Crystal Long loves the new color coding. I hope you do, Crystal, because it was a real chore. Marsh, use some more. Every day, says Nancy. All right, so we got visual and physical. Let's come back, and here's the next thing. How do you make the wisdom game easy to learn? Well, there's nothing easier to learn than flashcards if you've only got one card. You like that? If I only have one card, one flashcard, it's so easy to learn. The problem with flashcards is when you have 700 of them. So is my online audience willing to agree that yes, it would be easy to learn if there's only one card? Well, how do we get one card? I'll show you. Here's the one card. Check it out. I just took all of the, I'll have to move the screen for you. I just took all of the Brainies that had labels and took away the labels. You would be astonished at how quickly teachers can learn these 30 gestures just from the pictures. So it's a one-card flashcard covering all 30 Brainies. More personal information. One of the joys of instruction for about 25 years, I taught art history. And I taught history. I was astonished at this. My students could memorize the titles and the painters for 200 paintings, and they couldn't remember 15 dates. Why? I show the painting, and the painting is the visual cue to the title of the painting and the painter. So I saw that it was far easier to memorize visual information than text information. So all of this, these Brainy gestures and Brainy pictures come from my experience teaching art history. All right, let's have a little experiment here. How long, what grade do you teach, and how long do you think it would take your kids to learn to name the 30 pictures? How long? Tell us your grade. How long will it take your kids to learn the 30 pictures? So that if you say a word, they make a gesture, you make a gesture, they say a word. Shelley says kinder takes 2 weeks. Crystal Long says they learn them all in a day. 1 month, says Marsh. Grade 1 and 2, grade 2nd about 1 to 2 weeks. 3rd grade 1 day. Put it into a song. Andre Des says 1 30-minute session, middle school. 6th grade 2 days. Kate, 3rd grade 2 days. 1st grade 1 to 3 weeks. So yeah. 2nd grade, 3rd grade 2 weeks. Yes, my friends, kids can learn them and we haven't got to the fun part yet, so I'm not getting ahead of myself. So that's our one card flashcard. How do we make the wisdom game for all ages? Well, here's an easy answer. We use fewer Brainies at lower grades. And at upper grades, we use more Brainies. Check it out. Here are the Brainies that Andrea Schindler, our kindergarten specialist, tells us her kinders can learn a bunch of them. Because, and, also, detail, add, or in conclusion, but, if, then, and triple whammy. I've seen video of Andrea Schindler's ESL kindergarten kids mastering those Brainies. Capital letter, period, comma, indent, compare, contrast, and reminds me of, and help me in kindergarten. So, use fewer in kindergarten. Here are the Brainies that 1st grade can learn. Farrah Shipley, our incredible 1st grade teacher, has taught her 1st graders almost all of the stinking Brainies. She did not teach them quotation, but she does have them doing independent and dependent clauses, and she's using a simple version of connect, reminds me of. So from 2nd grade on up, we can use them all. 1st grade, I don't think we're getting to apostrophes. We might. But I am shocked. Let me show you a shocked face. That's a shocked face. I didn't think 1st grade could learn this many. So I'm revising my estimate. I think kindergarten can learn way more than I thought they could. I mean, kindergartner can learn to identify 26 letters and all the consonant and vowel sounds, and I think it'd be easier for him to learn the Brainies. What do you think? I'll take some opinions of my online audience. What do you think? Do you think kindergartners could learn 30? Is it possible? Would it be useful? People are saying yes, Shelley Moko says. Well, if that's true, that would be astonishing. Anybody teach special ed? Special ed, what age? How many do you think special ed can learn and use? Sasha 821 says they think they can for sure. Pre-K, says Sarah Metter, already knows several. Why not try, says Crystal Long. Kinders are little sponges. All right, I got some people on board here. There are some scrap that might not be useful to kinder. It may be true. $10 or $15 might be quite useful, though, to kinder. All right, so let's go to our next question. How do you make the wisdom game for all abilities? Special ed, use fewer Brainies. Gifted, use all the Brainies plus fancy Brainies. Fancy Brainies. Here's some fancy Brainies for you. Independent clause, the bear ate berries. Dependent clause, in the woods. Dependent, independent clause, in the woods, the bear ate berries. Independent, dependent clause, the bear ate berries in the woods. You see that? Here's some even fancier Brainies for you. Check this out. Compound sentence with an and. Two independent clauses. The bear ate berries and then he looked for water. That's two independent clauses connected by an and. Complex compound sentence. The bear all alone ate berries and then he looked for water. You could get a prepositional phrase. Just put a preposition there. In the woods, the bear all alone ate berries and then he looked for water. You could get adverbial phrases in there. Quickly swallowing, the bear all alone ate berries, but he really wanted a bagel. So fancy Brainies could be used by gifted or higher grades. Tell your neighbors if you're beginning to feel like we might be witnessing the start of the wisdom game here. We seem like we can fulfill some of the characteristics. I'm taking a drink and leaving it to my online audience. What do you say, my friends? Are you seeing? Now, we don't have all the characteristics of a wisdom game. But we're getting closer. What do you think, my online friends? Is everybody out there? I'm wondering if I've lost people because my text is not moving. Everybody there? I'm going to check my online audience and see how we're doing. All right, the text is not loading in the discussion box. Now tell me. Is it cooking? Yes, we're back. All right, thank you. Very good, my friends. Let's just keep rolling along. So, here's our question. Our next question is, how do we make the wisdom game infinitely complex and applicable to every subject? And here's the answer. Assign topics to be translated into Brainies. That will make it infinitely complex and applicable to every subject. For example, Brainy topics: fiction, nonfiction, experiments, word problems, core knowledge. Let's fix the spelling there. Core knowledge, narrative, expository, argumentative essays, review material. That's how we make it infinitely flexible and applying to every subject. We just assign the topics that we want kids to use in Brainies. All right. Now, next question. Here's the big question. How do we make the wisdom game fun? Who's eager to know the answer to that one? How do we make it fun? I'm taking a drink to see what my online audience says. Who's eager to know the answer to that question? I'm wondering if my text box is frozen up again. Let's hang on a second. We have a few technical difficulties here. Because we've paused at the most dramatic place. I'll wait for you, my friends. All right, are we back? All right. Now this is the dramatic moment. I hope that it doesn't freeze up on us again, because we need to know how to make it fun. How do we make it fun? All right, I'm going to tell you. How do we make it fun? This is it. We turn the wisdom game into SuperSpeed Brainies, but how do we do that? Here are the rules to SuperSpeed Brainies. And believe it or not, it took me a long time to figure out these rules. 1, give students a topic. Assign the Brainies to be used. Taking turns, teams of 2 to 3 students speak as many Brainy sentences as possible on the topic in 1 minute. That's the key. Player 1 speaks a sentence, player 2 speaks the next sentence, and so on. Encourage players to say "help me" to each other if they're stuck. One player makes a tally mark for every sentence, After the minute, students play again with a new player starting and try to beat their team record of the number of Brainy sentences in 1 minute. Are you digging that? Are you digging that? Let me go over it again, full screen. All right, you assign a topic. You decide which Brainies you want to be used, 5, 10, or all of them. Kids work in teams of 2 or 3. You have a team of 3 if you have an odd number of kids. So basically you have teams of 2. One kid speaks a sentence on the topic using a Brainy. The next kid speaks a sentence. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If one kid freezes up, the kid says, "Help me." So you match your higher kids with your lower kids, and they go for a minute. One kid makes a mark every time they speak a Brainy sentence. After a minute, they go again, my friend, with a new person starting to see if they can set and break a new 1-minute record. Speaking Brainies for a minute is so exciting, it's unbelievable. Veteran teachers who've used SuperSpeed, can you tell the rookies out there how exciting SuperSpeed math, SuperSpeed reading is? And it is so fast, and you don't have to learn anything new. It's SuperSpeed math. Any sentence on the topic. And the thing is, you can walk around and listen and stop the kids if they get off topic. It goes to funtricity. You could have parent night and play SuperSpeed Brainies. That's up to you, Andre. You can say, you know what, don't reuse any Brainies or keep using them for a minute. See if you can set and break a record, because I got more in my back pocket. No, this is just another tool in addition to the writing game. So I'm not done yet, my friends. Au contraire, I'm not done yet. Let's go to the next level. Infinite SuperSpeed Brainies. Same as before, but give students 2, then 3, then 4 more minutes to speak more and more Brainies on increasingly complex topics, setting and breaking team records. So you just increase the time by a minute to make the game infinitely complex. That's a challenge for a game designer. How do you make the game have no roof, no upper level? You just give them another minute. Can you dig that? Do you see how adding 2 minutes is going to feel like, oh my gosh, I got a whole extra minute here? Now, you think I'm done. How many people sincerely think I can't make this more exciting? Who thinks I can't make it more exciting? That's a direct challenge to you. I'm taking a drink. You think my excitement bag is empty? ST Reed? But wait, there's more. That's right, Jackie. That's right, Kate. I don't eat or sleep. Thank you, Andre. I've got one more for you. I've got one more for you. It may be too much. I don't know. I just feel like tonight you could take one more. My friends, one last one. We got SuperSpeed Brainies. We got infinite SuperSpeed Brainies just by raising the amount of time. But we also have Coach B's Competition Brainies. Yeah, that's what's coming at you. Coach B, that's me. Competition Brainies. Oh, ha ha ha! Oh, I'm drinking myself silly. Oh, I hope it doesn't freeze up now. You ready to see Competition Brainies? Because it kicks it way up, my friends. Here we go. Competition Brainies. I'm getting that screen over here. Here it is. Brainies are assigned point values 1 to 5. A random topic is drawn from a box by a student. Students are given 1 minute to plan a high-scoring strategy. A timer is set to 3 minutes. Using mirror words, every student must try to speak a Brainy sentence, taking turns. Points for each Brainy are totaled during a video replay of the session. Because of the terrifying excitement of Competition Brainies, students are encouraged not to lose their minds. Point values for the Brainies, my friends. Competition Brainies, every kid takes place. Let me go over the rules now. Competition Brainies. I have a Brainy sheet with points for the various Brainies. A kid picks a topic out of a box. You give all the students 1 minute to plan how they're going to score a lot on this topic. You set a timer to 3 stinking minutes. One kid, you point out a kid, the kid stands up, says mirror words, and speaks a Brainy sentence. You point another kid, that kid stands up, speaks mirror words, and another Brainy sentence. Trying to score as many as possible. How do you keep score? Oh, my friends, how do you keep score? You do what they would beg you to do. You videotape it. You do instant replay of the 3 minutes, and you mark the Brainy score sheet. How crazy will your kids be? Please encourage them not to lose their minds. There it is. Look at it again. Competition Brainies. I wonder how my online audience is doing in terms of not losing their minds. They will fight to be the scorekeeper, says Nancy. But I think if you use a video replay, they'll see their mistakes, they'll see where they slowed down, and this will give them a score to shoot to beat. Now, you want to see, of course, the point values. Here it comes. Point values. Here they are. Notice I use stars. So because and, those are worth 1 point, they're easy. Also, look at the color coding at the bottom of the screen. It'll be blocked a little bit for you, but black is 1 point, light blue is 2 points, yellow is 3, and red is a big whopping 5. So in order to score a lot of points, you got to use the hardest Brainies. Simile metaphor, that's a 5. A positive, that's a 5. Dependent, independent clause, that's a 5. Connect with 5W plus H, that's a 5. Use quotes or apostrophes, those are 5s. A 3? Well, in conclude, but or however, if then, triple whammy, those are 3s. Use an adjective, that's a 3. You see, the video replay becomes crucial because the points are going to be racking up so fast, they're going to look at the replay, and I'll show you the score sheet. Can you see this, A.D. Lutz, you little rookie game designer? Are you loving it, my friends? And hopefully nothing is frozen up. Yes, Jackie thinks it's beautiful. And help me is built in. Howard Dell says, whoop, whoop. Now let me make a few points about Coach B's competition Brainies. One nice thing is you'll have a videotape you can send me. Why do we assign higher points to some Brainies than others? The big point Brainies involve the most advanced critical thinking language skills. Detail adders, simile, compare, contrast, connect, complex sentences, change. By making these Brainies worth more points, students are powerfully motivated to use more of them, which is exactly what we want. Look at the golden horizon. Ah, yes, the first light of teaching heaven. Do you understand the importance of giving points to different Brainies? It will guide them to the toughest Brainies. You're right, A.D. Lutz. It's going to change school forever. This is program 576. Here we go. Here we go. I'm feeling it that you're feeling it. Let me point out a few more things. Point out to students that the easiest way to rack up a high score is to use 2 detail adders in a row. Marked by an asterisk on Coach B's competition Brainy sheet. No other Brainy can be used one after the other. Encourage students to use 2 detail adders after, for example, because, also, compare, contrast, connect, simile, if, then, quotes, and changes. Why do we have the detail adder rule? Because we always want kids to add details to points they make. Oh, sweet teaching heaven, the dawn is breaking. Look at this. You see the detail adder right up here in the asterisk? None of these other Brainies can you do 2 in a row. 2 simile metaphors in a row is botched up. You don't want 2 triple whammies in a row, or 2 if-thens, or 2 buts, or 2 in conclusions. But you can add 2 detail adders in a row, and when you do, you enrich the cognitive content of your essay. Here's what we write in the margin over and over again. Give me more details. Well, the detail adders with this scoring system takes care of that, which is the biggest thing to be taken care of. Let's keep going. A few more comments. Now I have the word change. I want you to look here. Please stay with me. You see, down here, you may barely be able to see it, is the word change or changes. That is a key word. Andre, my science friend, how important is the word change in life science? This is program 576. How important is the word change in literature, Kate? Nancy, how important is the word change in just about anything you talk about? Get the kids to use the word change. How does A change to B? In math, we talk about changing equations. Daily usage, says Andre. Kate says it's huge. Let's get them talking about changing from to. That's why, that's right, Michelle, how do characters change during the story? How did the points change during this essay? How does the mood change during the poem? That's why change is a 5-pointer. Here we go. Now, "5W plus H" is now what we mean by connect. So we want them to use who, what, where, when, why, or how brainies that connect to their topic. That enormously increases the range, flexibility, and power of competition brainies. Right over here. Who, what, where, when, why, or how connected to the Amazon. Or fractions. Who uses fractions? When do they use fractions? Why do they use fractions? A huge universe is lurking there. So here's the summary. The advantage of SuperSpeed Brainies. They're visual and physical. Check. Easy to learn. Check. Can be used by every grade. Check. Every ability. Every subject. Infinitely complex, because you can add minutes to the game, and differentiated. Students set and break personal records. Connected to the Super Improver team. It builds speaking, thinking, and writing skills, and working against the clock is stinking fun. Tell me if you think we got the wisdom game right here. Do we have it? Those are the criteria. Here's my change gesture. I like Kate's though. Kate's gesture is like this. My problem is my adjective gesture is like this. I'd rather just say change is this way. See, I change from one thing to another. I change from one thing to another. All right, my friends, what do you think? We got to start the wisdom game. Who's going to try it? At what grade level? Let me know. I'm taking a drink just to calm myself down. Stinking fun. Hits the mark. Try it in 4th grade. Tomorrow, says Kate. 1st grade tomorrow morning, says Loftus. Kinder and definitely tomorrow. Closed fist to open fist might be pretty good for a change. 6th and 7th, says Blizzard. See, we're going to get the videos. Video your kids doing this and then send it to me. Send me their 2nd video showing them going faster and scoring more points. Let's look at the score sheet. Here's the score sheet. Let's go back to the screen. There's the score sheet. So if you get tonight's program, you get the Competition Brainies official score sheet. Not the phony baloney score sheets that are floating around on the internet or that you can get on Amazon.com. This is the official score sheet. So, capital, period, because, and 1 point. Also, for example, in conclusion, comma, indent, and help me, 2 points. Triple whammy, etc., 3 points, and 5 points. There's your score sheet. That's what you're going to be using when you replay the video. Or maybe you can keep score as it goes. I think it's pretty tough, though. Now, here's last week's Brainies. It was done by a professional. If you like these better, go ahead. This is last week's Brainy SuperSpeed. Major announcement. There's a brand new Einstein triangle that's rolling through your neighborhood. And here it is. The 6-wheeled rainbow rolling Einstein triangle. Right there, my friends. So when you're playing with your Brainies, show them that triangle as part of the Brainy game. with the connect gesture. So when they connect about who, what, where, when, why, or how, they're just using this connect gesture. So you can talk about fractions, who, what, where, when, why, and how. Like, who uses fractions? What are proper and improper fractions? Where are fractions used most often? When do we use fractions? Why do we need fractions? How do we multiply fractions? Answering those questions will score Brainy points. Or the Amazon. Who explored the Amazon? What's the Amazon rainforest? Where's the mouth of the Amazon? You see, with 5W plus H, we really hit the jackpot with Brainy thinking. Here's a magnificent idea. When your kids are using Brainies and they improve, give them a star on the Super Improver team. And what's really cool coming up in a few weeks, I will tell you, my friends, trading card Brainies. It's coming. There's a Brainy trading card for every Brainy. It's coming. It's a slow journey, but that's going to take everything even higher. Get our book. Get the electronic edition. Ah, here's Ms. Linenthal. Hi, Coach. Gosh, SuperSpeed Brainies sounds great. But how could I get a professional development credit for this broadcast and a copy of these slides? Ms. Linenthal, how's that cold? Oh, it's so much better, Coach. Last week I had a raspy voice. Yes, Ms. Linenthal, you did have a raspy voice next week. My friends, this is program 576. 576. Go to PayPal right now. And there's the PayPal box, $5.76. And you'll get this certificate that has another side you can use for professional development. And I'll send you a copy of tonight's webcast. And next week, more SuperSpeed Brainies. My friends, I'm going to stay online for about 20 minutes. Those of you who want your Brainies tonight, I'll send them to you lickety-split. Joanna Loftus is excited about the Brainies right now. So I'll stay online for half an hour. 576. Loftus has already sent in. Some of the new Brainy stuff is 575, but tonight's broadcast is 576. And don't you like it, lickety-split, grammar guru? To get slides from previous webcasts, you just look at the webcast and see what number it is. 575, $75.75. Let's look at previous webcasts. Let's see if we can get there without blowing up our machine. Hang on. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to try to get you to previous webcasts. Hang on a second. Trying to bring up whole brain teaching. Well, you go to the middle of the page on previous webcasts. Middle of the page at wholebrainteaching.com. All right, my friend, the show is 576. Tonight's show is 576. Sarah Metter, how many people are you getting on Twitter? I'm excited to know. What's your average number, dear Sarah? All grades. Go ahead. +20. That sounds really good. Sarah, I think let's just do tomorrow's Twitter, and then we want to let them rest for a while, and then we'll hit them with some big announcements for the National Convention. Anybody have any questions about SuperSpeed Brainies? All right, my friends. Nancy, about how many viewers did we have tonight? The ebook is just the collection of slides, but eventually there will be an ebook on Brainies. 576, you go to the PayPal window at wholebrainteaching.com. Down the road, AD, but don't wait for it. Just go with getting the slides for tonight. Yes, there will be a sequel to the first book. We're going to do a second edition. Hang on a second. I'm going to try to bring up Whole Brain Teaching. Here's our website, wholebrainteaching.com. And right here, put in $5.76. If you want to watch some more webcasts, they're down here. All right, my friends, another great program. Let your grades and places flow down the screen. Who are you and where are you from? What grade do you teach? Winnebago, Illinois, Washington, Milton, Delaware, says Kate, Charlotte, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Dresden, Maine. Kimmy's from Yucaipa, Longview, San Diego, San Parolita, Texas, Parma, Ohio. All right, my friends, here's the deal. I do need your attention. Here's the deal. I will be posting tonight 5 of the newest and greatest whole brain teaching videos you've ever seen. Go to the Whole Brain Teaching Facebook page. Nancy, can you put up the address of the Whole Brain Teaching Facebook page? Our national competition kicks off tonight. Kate is one of the entries. So is Nancy. Whole Brain Teaching Facebook page. 5 new videos are going to be posted tonight. Watch them. Spread the word. The video with the most views wins. What do they win? They get to have the picture of themselves in their class on the Facebook page for a year. So Nancy, can you put up the Whole Brain Teaching Facebook page address as I take another drink of delicious California Clear? All right, my friends. We will see you again next week. We'll continue to explore SuperSpeed Brainies. I don't know where this journey is going to end, but it just keeps getting better and better. God is good. All of the videos are on the YouTube channel except for Kate's, and hers will be before long. All right, my friends, please keep my family in your prayers. We have felt the benefit of your prayers. We still have ongoing need of prayer. So if you have a moment, say a few kind words to our Lord and Savior Jesus, that He help Coach B and his family. Thank you so much. It's Coach B signing off. Power to the teachers and power to the kids. Good night until next week.